Moment, założę spodnie. Miałem ranę na nodze i musiałem ją odkazić. Piecze jak diabli, ale przynajmniej wiem, że przynajmniej przeważnie woda utleniona zajebista jest na rady. Zawsze jak odkażałem, to po paru godzinach wszystko fajnie ropiało i się goiło. Więc no, i potem nic nie bolało, także jest git. Jedynie to swędzi potem jak cholera. Ale no wiadomo. Okej, puszczę jakąś muzykę. Tak na dzień dobry. Okej, kamera z powrotem. Muszę nawet tytuł streamu dać chyba. Żyjemy? Wszystko gra? Wszystko gra. Okej. Okej. Moje achievementy to Nobody Got Time for That, Vagrant, Solitary Struggle, Grounded Vagrant, Solitary Struggle, No Health Potions, Homebound, and Nobody Got Time for That. O. Musiałbym zrobić chyba tę komendę. O, ktoś padł na 35. Booty Bay Bruiser STV. Czyli albo zgrifowany, albo Miracle. Level 22. Okej. Zmienimy może na stream angielski. English. Gotowe. Let's go. We're gonna speak English today. Dobra, jedzonko niech się fajnie robi. Co robimy? Mieliśmy zabijać te Battleworn Axe, ale o ile dobrze wiem, gryferzy tu często przechodzą, więc musimy to jakoś ominąć. Pójdziemy sobie tu i może tu ich będziemy bili. Albo pójdziemy od tyłu, ale tu jest dużo mobów. Muszę pomyśleć, jak to zrobić.
Need help?
Czy ja tego nie potrzebuję? Czy nie, nie, ja już oddałem ten quest. Dobra. O, Ulklot. Kurde, to czemu tu, a nie tu? Ale głupio. Dobra, idziemy dalej, idziemy dalej.
Have a good one.
Pójdziemy tędy. Narobimy trochę żarcia, picia. Żarcia jest mało. Sto 80. Okej. Aha, bo i tak mamy iść jeszcze do Darkshire oddać questy. Pomyślimy, jak to zrobić. To ja zrobię, ale to 22, 23, 20, 21. Ja bym może poszedł oddać questy. Wrócę i może zabijając te podskoczy mi level na 23. To wtedy spokojnie mógłbym spróbować tych. Chociaż tego się to boję. Dungeon. I Belly Group. Mały poziom. Może przechadzając się po prostu postaram się zabijać jak najwięcej. Tak o. Sto 70. Już mam mało mamy. Sobie dzisiaj tak w pracy myślałem, może by tak pójść do Duskwoods i pozabijać tak setkę pająków, setkę wilków. Tak podlewelować się porządnie. Muszę tego jeszcze wziąć. Sto 70. Tested XP plus 85. Ale noob z siebie zielone mopki. Nie skomentuję. Fajnie. Tylko, że ty nie wiesz, co ja robię. To myśl tak dalej. Twoja logika mnie powala. Ej, bez jaj. Aha, bo 5 plus 67 to było. Dobra. Dla tych, co nie wiedzą, robię hardcora i mam tu kilka achievementów, które staram się przestrzegać. Dlatego biję zielone mopki, żeby jak najwięcej expa podbić. Nie robiąc jeszcze questów. Mówi o logice, a sam ma w nazwie autystyk. Więc... nie wiem. Lol. Ale robię homebound, nie? Więc jestem ograniczony tylko do Eastern Kingdoms. Na samych questach ja 60 tu nie wbiję na samym Eastern Kingdoms, więc biję mopki. Staram się nadrabiać ile mogę expa. Dobra, ale myślę, że ten goleś już właśnie wyszedł, bo właśnie widzę, że już nie ma go na streamie, więc trollu. Aby tu purge, delete, a wszystko. Purge. Ara. Teraz, żeby to wyłączyć, to ja muszę tak wcisnąć.
Greetings. Safe travel.
Co ja teraz wziąłem? Kurde. Shadowy Search Continues. A, wiem co to jest.
Good day to you. Greetings. Have a good one. Yeah. See you later.
Finding the shadowy figure. Nie o to chodziło. Halo. Mi się coś tu popsuło. Halo. Finding the shadowy figure. Tej drogi nie przebiegnę. 15 pygmy venom web spiders and then report back to watch if dots in does good. Ale to mam, no właśnie to mam już gotowe. Rod blossoms, bla bla bla. Dobra. Yes, but you don't have a fucking... Co mi tak laguje? Coś mi laguje.
Off and away.
Moment.
You have a great day now.
Coś mi wciul laguje. Oj, chyba wyjebało mi teraz woła. Crashyk. Crash. Crash. O, jednak nie. Okej, żyjemy. Sprawdźmy wszystko. No, może mój internet trochę zamulił. Dobra. Bronze Tube, ale on powinien być tu i nie ma.
Salutations.
Co nie? O. Hellbro. Bubble Thump.
Daylight's burning. Pleased to meet you. Right. Greetings. I've seen you. Would you like to purchase something? Hey. You have a great day now.
Okej, czyli nikt nie wie, wszyscy kampią. Gdzie jeszcze Bronze Tube'a może mi dropnąć? Bronze Tube. Jezu, problem z internetem chyba jest. Bronze Tube. This can be purchased in Undercity, Orgrimmar, Ironforge. Can it be in Ironforge? A, pokazuje mi, że tu Stormwind City, Winterspeak, Alterac Mountains, Dunmorrow, Burning Steppes, Duskwood? Duskwood? Aha, tak. American, STV, Barrens, Hinterlands, Thousand Indians and Wetlands. No to już wiem, gdzie ja to kupię. Do Wetlands bym musiał pobiec. Jest największa szansa, że to zdobędę. Musiałbym do Wetlands pobiec.
Swapped out. There's now
Okay.
a new team behind him. Now that lead unit is that Challenger Dodge Charger, I should say, right behind him. So as they make their way up the freeway, again, this started on the 101 freeway. That was likely the Central LA division that initiated the pursuit. Not exactly sure where it started, but we picked it up around Hollywood.
I'll put
and
this
then once
on
he got
my God.
into the San Fernando Valley,
This chat,
their
man.
North Hollywood, their westbound division took over the pursuit. Again, a new team of officers swapping out in a choreographed fashion, as you mentioned, Colleen. And then once again, as we make our way through Santa Clarita and points beyond, they will continue to hand this off. Division office by division, the different stations will continue to take this over, and they will communicate with the various stations up ahead that this pursuit is coming their way, and to be ready if they have the available
Truckers!
officers. They're busy with other
7
business.
truckers back to back.
They may not be able to pick up the pursuit, and then that lead unit unit will have a decision to make. The watch commander will make the decision. The supervisors will work together in deciding whether it's worth continuing the pursuit much longer or whether at some point it's worth just giving it up for everybody's safety.
Workers are
involved. In
fine.
this case, they are dedicating more resources, not less.
Well, they're the
And,
foundation
the
of
Fine
America,
Freeway, as I
man. What are you on about, man?
goes all
Come on,
the way
brother.
up the state of California, so they can continue this dance as long as there is fuel left in the tank. And I think this is probably the best case. I said a while ago, this is the best case anybody can hope for, is that he stays on the freeway,
Runs
where
out of
the
gas.
collateral damage is minimal, and now he's made his way far up north enough that traffic is so light that the risks are even less, and as long as he stays on the freeway, it'll remain that way. It's once a driver like this that's so
Bro, I don't
aggressive
even think that they
and
have.
so reckless gets
They still have the
off
air one
freeway
either.
To jest
that you
wodospad,
really
nie?
start
To jest
to,
wodospad.
you know, you just shudder at the possibilities of him running
Myślałem, czy
into
w
the
górę
freeway
rzeki dałoby się jakoś tutaj
getting
pobiec,
involved
że tu.
with city traffic.
Ale
Now being as
to
far north as we
nie.
are, we have gotten
To
away
nie jest
from
ta
a lot of those
taka
risks,
geografia
and
tej
it's
mapy.
just basically, you know, hundreds of miles of freeway left in front of him.
Well, that is one positive
Dude,
sign.
why don't they ask the officer good questions?
That would be a
Like,
very, very
do they
dangerous
run this
photo
guy's
story.
name or
Pursuit, but
plate?
this is a little bit
Is he a
milder version
possible
of
registered
the
gun
photo.
owner? Is there a risk of them being armed? Or
And it would be
ask some
really
questions, Busta. What are they doing, man?
Of some sort, but we'll just have to watch and see what happens. I don't know how much fog is up in the near the Stag area, but what's it looking like?
It's not ground fog, but there's enough of a cloud ceiling here, especially
What is this,
the
chat?
higher
Cement?
altitude we get heading up the Grapevine towards Bakersfield, where they
Wait, it's with a Palito.
just won't have the
Palito.
option at some point of flying a
Wait,
helicopter
that's
up
literally
here.
the
It's gonna fall
wait, that's the actual RP exit. I'm not kidding.
pursuit. But as far as ground
That's the actual RP exit.
issue, at least in the near future. Of course, again, the higher we get in elevation, that could change. But as I look off the nose here, it does look like visibility for those ground units should not play a role here. But we are making our way further up the Grapevine, and sure enough, altitude does play a role. And right now, it's been pretty much uphill for the next several
So
miles.
hecking
as he
cool,
continues to
man.
push the pedal to the metal.
Well, let's check back with our Bruce Thomas. And Bruce, what are your thoughts on if this pursuit will continue, or will they just let it? Will they kind of sit back and let the driver just kind of go peacefully if they know who he is? What would be the process?
Just backtracking a little bit what you were talking about, the choreography. What they're doing is they're swapping out primary vehicle, as Chris said, secondary and third vehicle. And that is so the officers don't get tunnel vision. Because typically in a pursuit, the job is to follow the suspect vehicle. The second unit or a helicopter will call the pursuit, meaning they're giving the ground speed, the direction of travel, the streets, all those
Tunnel vision.
conditions and things that the watchman wants. So in this case, I think they're going to continue this pursuit because there really is not a hazard to the public at this point. Obviously, this driver is now
It's a
watching
truck
for
stopper.
misdemeanor hit and run and felony evading and speed
Like an
over
RP.
100 miles an hour, which are all misdemeanor charges. But in this case, I don't think CHP is going to let this go.
Yeah, guys, we're continuing northbound on the freeway, passing Templin Highway, and pretty much, no man's land for the next several miles up until he gets to Gorman, and then on the way up there, from there, he basically will start getting closer to Bakersfield, where there will be an additional CHP office ready to take over. Look at that, a hand out the window with his cell phone.
He's filming.
out the driver's
He's making
side of the
TikToks.
vehicle.
He's
Not clear what he's
TikToking.
trying to convey there,
This
but
buster.
continuing for a bulk of this
What the
pursuit.
fuck?
Every time we get a close look at him, he's got that cell phone in his hand. He's basically continuing almost the entire time. But again, at some point, or just a moment ago, waving his hand at the driver's side window with that cell phone in the air. Those lead units still
Jetta.
right behind him here. The 5 freeway, about 3 or 4 lanes as he makes his way through Gorman here. More units up ahead of him. There's actually an unrelated unit, a possible speed trap actually, that just happens to be there. And look at that. There's the spike. There's the spike, and it looks like it was a miss.
Oh,
I caught
so
it at the
fucking
corner of the
bad.
screen. A very rare, I would say unorthodox Bruce could correct me, but I think it's maybe once a year lately that we
Why-
see
why
a
would they-
spike strip
why would
attempt
they
on the
high-speed
freeway,
spike?
and that was one right there that did not look to be successful.
In
And
broad
check it
day
out.
like that.
CHP
Ja pierdolę i mi go zajebał.
That's pretty rare. That's pretty rare. It's not the best response spikes. Not in real life.
Nie wiem czym on mnie tu zaatakuje, wezmę tak.
They really lose control instantly as the spikes are hit, unless it's the other ones. So it doesn't matter if they spike at high speeds.
Fajnie.
With that driver's side tire, but from my vantage point, the vehicle appears to be behaving normally, and I don't think he ran over that spike, but a good attempt nonetheless by CHP with those units in front of him.
This is not RP knowledge. This is real life knowledge.
And now a helicopter
I'm saying-
to call the shots from up above, giving
interesting.
that watch commander and those supervisors
Meow, meow,
even
meow,
more
meow.
visibility as they continue to make key decisions up the grapevine here as this pursuit continues.
That was interesting. Well, Bruce Thomas, what is your take on that use of that spike strip? That's pretty unusual to see that along the freeway, as Chris
Yeah,
said.
as Chris said, you don't see that very often. Maybe 1 in 100 pursuits, just because one, it doesn't present itself because of additional traffic.
Off and away.
But in this case, excuse me, all the things came into play. Traffic was light, he was staying in a lane, and CHP
On
was
umiera?
able to deploy
Call
that.
Marty, calls
Yeah,
Mr.
it's
Lang.
definitely
We
rare,
need a plan
but
B,
in
Mr.
this
He's
case,
going in the front in a straight line
The
now.
only solutions. Pretty please I hacking
So
of
interesting.
RP.
But
It was really interesting, and it was really dramatic to see that CHP helicopter that just kind of go right down, hovering over the freeway. But again, they were probably trying to see it as well. I
2
don't know,
years, Bob.
Chris, do you
Can
think
I
that
finally
CHP
get a
helicopter
welcome
was
to the
trying to
jungle?
get an idea if the spikes would work? Is that why they were so close?
No. What?
You know,
No,
we're
maybe
playing with
they're
some
making themselves known, like
consolidated
the old
airspace.
GPU done, right?
We're pretty high up, and we're about maybe just under 1,000 feet above ground, something like that. And so they are working between us. We're giving them as much room as possible to do what they have to do.
It's just
But as
extra
we
pressure.
make our way further north here, the good news is that ceiling that I was talking about,
How
that
fast is it going?
low-level
MPH.
cloud layer, has really lifted. And as we look up further north up the 5 freeway, it's really smooth sailing from here. That cloud layer lifts, and there should be plenty of room now for all of these helicopters to do their job. And now CHP continuing to follow from above and on the ground as this chase continues at 90 miles per
It's really
hour.
above me.
And you'll start to see that helicopter, I imagine, pick up a little bit, pick up in altitude
we
just
ran
a
out of
little bit,
fuel.
but again, closing in on
Yeah,
100
100.
miles per hour.
and he's still on the uphill, correct?
Still going uphill for at least the next several
I think
miles.
showing the heli
fact,
in front of him is like, yo, bro,
probably
like,
even more than that.
your car
Probably the next
sucks.
10 miles are pretty much
You're done.
uphill, right? Yeah, we're thinking
Like,
about
like
another
we got
10
you, bro.
miles
Like,
of
stop extending this fucking
It's
chase
a
for no
gas
reason.
guzzling situation where he's going to suck out all that gas.
It does, absolutely.
Get up that hill.
Especially at these speeds. Sure, 100 miles per hour uphill. He's going to run out of fuel much faster than you or I would if we were traveling up the 5 freeway. And so that's, again, only good news. I think you can only say this is the best case scenario that any of these officers could have hoped for. And hopefully the resolution to this pursuit is just as optimal. Here comes another spike
Did I
strip
risk it?
attempt. Maybe. Does not look like yep. Spikes across. There's the spike.
Boom! Boom!
I think he
Wait, friendly fire!
Otherwise, that patrol car.
Friendly
Yep,
fire!
He hit it.
And it looks like the
It
patrol
looks
car.
like he hit it.
No, it was the bundled up when she hit it.
Patrol. Did he? You'll have to replay
Yeah, boom,
that.
boom, boom.
I think
That's it.
the patrol car might have gone around it, but you can see now clearly that front right wheel heavily
GG. Nah.
immediately going.
Nah,
front. Look at
there's at least 2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Didn't
No,
take
no.
long at all. Didn't take long at all, and now it looks like he's about to be running on empty, at least on that front right and the right rear.
Chat,
Both
why
the
did they
right
line up
tires,
with him?
are now running
They
low
call for
on
spikes.
air, and they will be flat here in a second.
Friendly fire.
We'll get around the driver's side if it's possible, and we'll try and get a better
Easy.
picture of what's going on that side of the vehicle. Not one, but 2 separate spike strip attempts on the freeway. Colleen and Ellen, something I have not seen in some time.
7-pound
but
bro.
has
It
been-
is what it is, man.
Appears to have been successful in this case, and I think that's going to start to wrap up the pursuit here in the coming minutes. If I'm not mistaken, I think
what
this
it is.
vehicle is now on borrowed time as those tires begin to run flat.
Yeah, and Bruce, I can imagine that this
Both of
certainly
them
changes
bust
the color of this pursuit. I no longer going to be maneuvering at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish they zoomed out and give us an idea of if friendly fire, tire, spikes hit.
Wytyfy.
They may have gotten an ESP vehicle also.
Yep.
The nature of the pursuit. The shot and their front and right vehicles, but if those tires deflate very quickly, they're going to
Okay,
Yeah.
Bruce, we have to interrupt you. Bruce, we have to interrupt you for just one moment. It's at 4 o'clock in just 4 seconds.
And who the fuck are you? Who the?
This is Eyewitness News. with
What the
live breaking
fuck?
news.
Breaking news right now at 4, the CHP chasing a reckless driver on the 5 freeway, speeds reaching over 100 miles an hour. Thanks for joining us in David O.
Later, you're watching Eyewitness News at 4 live on ABC 7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. Let's get right to Chris Christie. He's live over the scene in Air 7 HD. Chris?
Guys, the pursuit continuing up the grapevine.
Oh, is this changing, like, channel input, right? And they have multiple channels. And they're probably taking over another slot or something.
Leading CHP on a triple-digit speed pursuit through the San Fernando Valley, through the Santa Clarita Valley, and up the 5 freeway, where just moments ago, not one but 2 spike strip
Oh my
attempts
God,
were
a
made.
police
The
chase.
second one appears to have been successful, knocking out the right 2 tires. You're looking at the left 2 tires on the driver's side, which appear to be intact, but the right tires, both the front and the rear, have run out of air. He is pretty much running on flats on the right side. That's going to slow things down
Yeah, but
considerably as he continues.
is he gonna run on the rims, though?
At 50 to 60 miles per hour, continue going uphill with at least 4 CHP units right behind him. In fact, he's made the decision for the first time in his pursuit to get off the freeway. He ran
Tires
over
exploded.
something, or maybe the tire came apart there.
Yeah.
But you saw some debris flying off the vehicle, and now he's getting off at
Yeah,
Smoky
the rim usually
Air
cuts
Road
through the rubber
here on
at
the
one
5
point.
freeway.
We have a replay now of that spike strip. Oh, a big piece of tire just came.
Boom!
Treads coming off.
It's so good.
He's going to
There's
have
the
to
pit. There's the pit. There's the pit. Spinning
Oh!
the vehicle, doing a full 180 underneath the freeway, and those CHP units have come out the other side.
Oh
The
my
vehicle
God!
is now
What the fuck is
coming to a
this?
standstill on the underneath the freeway. Looks like those officers are getting ready for a confrontation here. He may have gone for a run. He may have gotten out of the vehicle.
Oh!
Foot pursuit.
Oh, shit!
This is going to be a foot pursuit onto the freeway. He's climbing up the embankment. He's trying to
Wait.
get on the freeway, guys. Northbound side of the 5 freeway. Some trucks coming up
Oh,
there.
shit!
And now he's in traffic.
Yo!
Northbound side of the 5 freeway. The foot chase is going to stop there because those officers will not chase him across the freeway over the divider. More oncoming traffic here, and this is so dangerous as he comes out the other side. They will be there to meet him on the other side, but they could look at that. The K9 unit starting to cross the freeway, turning around there.
The
They will
fuck?
get units on the other side of the freeway within seconds here, and hopefully he will just run out of steam here. Certainly the vehicle gave up on him. You saw the tires come apart, the full tire flying off the vehicle, and then that successful pit maneuver underneath the freeway. He immediately jumped out of the vehicle, went for a run over all of the northbound and southbound lanes of the freeway, and he is now
Oh, he
trying
wants to get a
hitchhike
ride
his
now.
way out of this situation.
Right
His
now.
way out of this situation.
Wow. Yeah, I was wondering
Ah,
what he was
shit.
doing because of the CHP's just on
Yeah, I
the
don't know about that one,
other
Jack.
side. Staying on the freeway, we have seen some horrible things happen on the freeway.
Ale laguje.
Man, come
But
on,
he's now
man.
in the middle.
Come
Maybe
on,
that's-
brother.
Oh, okay, so he's
Going
doubling
back
back.
over the divider again, back on the northbound side. Look at
No bez lagów, błagam.
No, what?
they're gonna have
Ja pierdolę.
is trying to carjack.
Dobra, zmniejszmy sobie jakość. 480, dawaj.
Which is not helping matters.
He's just looking for an unlocked door. He's looking for any unlocked door to try and get out of the situation.
No bez jaj.
Trying to go down the embankment.
Maybe
off
go
the
back to the
freeway,
old-
now
go back to the
going
car.
down below, and they should be able to meet him. He's going back where the vehicle is. And
Oh
there should
shit,
be
that's a
officers
classic.
down there. I don't see
That's a
them, but you would
classic.
imagine
Dobra. Uciekam, bo mogę tu zginąć. O, dziękuję.
freeway.
One patrol
And
car
there's
there.
one of them.
Okay, we got someone behind him and then someone down on the ground too.
He might be hiding under the freeway.
He's got him.
The
He sees him.
embankment.
Hold up.
There's those nooks and crannies up there.
No, bez jaj!
Behind these spots under these overpasses to hide out, but it looks like he's come out the west side of the 5 freeway. He's now being confronted with a taser with his hands in the air. He's
Oh,
on
just
his
listen,
knees,
man. Come on,
not
bro.
exactly
GG
complying,
over.
but here he goes. Now about to be proned out on the roadway down below, underneath the 5 freeway, still resisting.
Jesus, man, chill, bro. What is he doing?
On top of him, and it
He
looks
says he
like
doesn't want the dog, but
he
he
is
doesn't
going to be
listen.
subdued here as that canine unit is
Blueface,
barking
baby.
very loudly and very aggressively. You can see this has now come to an end, and thankfully, nobody hurt. After what could have turned into a very dangerous situation, somebody so desperate that they were even trying to carjack innocent motorists on a Wednesday afternoon here. Unfortunately, couldn't find an unlocked door. He gave up on that, and now this foot chase has come to an end.
Wow, that came to
Thank goodness.
a dynamic
It
end
certainly was.
at that. Very
Bro,
good work
I'm
by
telling you,
CCTV
that
officers
pickup
and
driver
everyone else.
definitely
Interesting spikes
demotivated
there.
this guy from
We'll
trying
talk
more
about
doors,
that. I guess we could detail that
trying harder.
a little bit later on, but we have a lot of points to get to. But Chris, thank you for covering this for us. And we're going to move on to other news now. 2 former Whittier police detectives have been charged with assault in a 2020 shooting that left the man paralyzed. LA County District Attorney George Gascon announcing the
All right, well, that
charges
was it.
today. Officials say Nicholas Carrillo was unarmed and running away when he was shot by the 2 detectives. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos.
Wait, what happened? Oh, shit.
Happy 32-month second. Today my birthday to you, gonna gift me
Wait, what
something
happened?
XQCM, come on, you're a gazillionaire anyway, love the streams, lil bro.
It's... Time? 4?
Twitch has started holding my Twitch Prime sub ransom, making me watch ads.
Ready.
Sub is today, but the Prime isn't shown yet, so done.
Okay.
For 40-minute pause? Guys, that is a typical Fortnite state. Fastest, slow, Fortnite pace. Alright, relax, slow down. It's just a joke, man, relax. Don't take it so hard, it's not a dick. Just faster. There's so many ants since I left food out, it's insane.
The 6 ads that played during peak
Ah!
content of the chase for
Oh my arms, fucking ants, man!
Can you say
Yo!
welcome to the where XQCL.
On my desk, hold up.
Dobra, to mamy z głowy. A przy tym, nie wiem. Pamiętam, że to nie było łatwe.
What is this shit, man? Well, where's the map at then?
Ej, wypadł z tym. Okej, to raczej nie zabije.
Guys, There's a reason why I was doing that. It's very complicated. I'm not gonna explain it to you today.
Ale mają wysoki poziom tu.
Because the run was over and I was wasting time.
Ale tu
Can
mają
you see that?
niższy.
Do you see the
Właśnie
ghost there?
jeszcze
Do you see the
dwa.
ghost? So I'm not crazy. There is a ghost, right? When you load in that seed, do you see it?
Z tamtej strony mają niższy.
You like living with bugs crawling over you? Clean the ocean.
Moment, stop. Czy ja jestem w stanie jakoś tędy przejść niezauważenie? Ryski. Nie powinienem tego robić. Wzgórzem naokoło przejdę? Mogłem wodą w sumie przepłynąć to, ale... No ale właśnie, ludzie tu też levelują, także... Powinienem być w stanie tu przejść. Dobra, jak tam ktoś leveluje, to sobie przejdźmy tu. 125, 25, 23, 23, 123, 25. Tam ktoś jest. Nie, to jest martwy ptak. Okej, to idź ty. To idź ty. Sobie tego zaatakuję, ale spróbuję jakoś... Tak o. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Dużo expa. Fajnie, fajnie, nice. Ale to bijąc tych zwykłych warriorów magicznych, to ja przegram. Tego już nie zaatakuję. Tego bym mógł, ale nie wiem, czy on nie strzela. Brute, brute. Ucieka? Myślałem, że będzie uciekał, ale nie uciekał. Dziwne. Woolcloth, nice.
About this. Yeah, it's always around the same area too. I think you got whipped up into a frenzy from... Is this not like quite bad if it does hit land? What do you mean? If it hits landmass, that would be quite literally a declaration of war from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to Japan, a nation aligned with the United States of America, It would literally fucking kill people. It would kill. What? Yes.
Easy.
How are they able to know that it launched but not be able to track it and see where it is right now? That was supposed to land 8 minutes ago? I don't know. Yeah, guys, you want to know how fucking common it is? We watched this last year. This is a video from 5 years ago from Chris Broad, abroad in Japan. And we literally watched this last year when chat said this was happening. That was unique.
Vibrating and going mental. Then this air raid site is going on outside for a missile from North Korea.
Masz mniej HP? Boisz się.
I'm out of range.
Dead. Dead. Okej. Pijemy. Ugh. Tudum, tudum. Fuck off. Level 26, kurde.
Hardened like an ice skating rink. It melted the granite. If you look at that and multiply it times 500, that's what you're talking about. When I listen to people talk about global warming, that the ocean will rise in the next 300 years by 1/8 of an inch, and they talk about this is our problem. Our big problem is nuclear warming, and nobody even talks about it. The environmentalists talk about all this nonsense in many cases. Look, I'm an environmentalist also, I guess, in my own way, because I've done a good job with the environment, but nobody talks about nuclear, the problem we have, the biggest problem we have in the whole world. It's not global warming, it's nuclear warming. And all it takes is one madman, and you're gonna have a problem the likes of which the world has never seen. And it's only a matter of seconds. You don't have to wait 200 to 300 years for it to happen.
So what you're saying is demonstrably true. Why is this not something our leaders talk about or the press talks about?
Because I don't think they're smart. I don't think they get it. Putin got it. I would talk to him about it all the time. I never mentioned the word nuclear. You never heard me mention the word. You know, my uncle was a professor, a great professor at MIT for a long time. I think he was the longest, Dr. John Trump. And he would talk about a lot of different things, and it was very interesting to me for years. I talked to him, passed away, he's a great, great gentleman. I think it's the longest tenured professor in the history of MIT, but if he wasn't, he was very close, because he was there for almost 40 years. And we talk about things, and he said, you know, someday they'll have a suitcase, and in that suitcase, it'll be nuclear, and you'll blow up New York City out of a suitcase. And I said, no, Uncle John, that can't possibly. He's right. The power is so incredible. You can fire up a submarine and run it for years on essentially a tablet. Run it for years. So when we talk about war, and when I watch all of the people talking about Ukraine and how's Ukraine doing, blah, 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 Russia's sitting back. First of all, Ukraine's being obliterated.
Yes.
Okay, let's not even talk nuclear. But let's say it wasn't. Let's say they were doing better than anticipated. If he decided to use his second form of destruction, which is nuclear, That's the end of that. Do you understand? And I know where you are in Ukraine, so I mean, you understand it better than most. Most people don't. Most people don't even talk about it. They don't talk about the fact that he has equal to the United States in nuclear capability and destruction. And so I watch all of this happening, and it's so sad.
But can I just ask, so the Biden people know the power of nuclear weapons. They now control our arsenal. They don't seem worried about this.
That's because they don't understand life. They don't understand whatever it is that you have to understand. You know, it's very interesting. At the very beginning, Biden was very afraid of nuclear because I watched him and he was, oh, they have nuclear weapons. Oh, which was exactly the wrong signal to send. You don't do that. But if you go back and check your files, you'll see Biden early on saying, oh, well, we can't do this. They have nuclear weapons. Well, you don't want to, you don't want to act that way.
Yeah.
But he was very afraid of nuclear. I said, you know, you got to be a little bit cooler than that. But what happened is now that nobody talks about it. But every day Putin mentions it, and every day other people mention it. And now all of a sudden, if you look, other countries are talking about.
I love the implication here that, like, Biden originally didn't speak enough about nuclear weapons, and now he's not speaking at all about nuclear weapons and not taking it seriously, which is like you didn't even need to say that, because like no one really knows or understands. Like no one has really thought a lot about like Biden's use of nuclear warnings and whatnot. So you could have just like went with a one-sided argument, and instead he made the argument from both sides. Like he literally said, Biden at first talked to, you know, he never talked about nuclear weapons, and now it's bad that he's talking about nuclear weapons and not taking it seriously. Which one is it?
Getting it. This was something.
Which he's simultaneously saying. He's simultaneously also saying that like he will use just the right amount. He will use just the right amount of nuclear conversations to I guess avoid catastrophe.
I call it the N-word.
Oh!
The two N-words. You don't mention either one of them. The
What?
nuclear word you don't mention, because the power is so destructive. I met with professors at MIT, and I was preparing for a debate. I wouldn't say it was a long preparation, but I did want to talk about nuclear because I consider it to be the single greatest threat the world has, far greater than global warming, like not even a contest. And I had these people come down who were very smart, very expert, and I said, so when we said...
They're very smart, very expert. I'm sorry, bro. At this point, I mean, I love him. He's so funny. He's so content. But, like, he's not even trying to, like, genuinely say words. They're very smart, very expert. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You're just saying words, man.
Kurwa, zrespił się tu jeden.
What's the point of mentioning a racist slur? I don't get it. What do you mean? Like nuclear? Is that what you... Oh, he loves saying that because he knows it's clippable. What do you mean? That's the point. Like, what? Calling the N-word nuclear is like... He's doing it on purpose. Like, he's doing it so that people go, what the fuck? Why'd you say that?
Start talking about nuclear in a debate. How would you handle it? And they looked at me, one in particular, and said...
He called out both N-words, to be fair. Yeah, this is true. He's also woke. Like, I'm sorry, Sweaty. He is woke. He says you shouldn't say it. You shouldn't say either of them. But then he says nuclear all the time, so I don't know. Maybe he says the other N-word too. Well, yeah, he has regularly spoken out against saying the other N-word. Like, he says it all the time, actually, which is odd. Because I feel like back in the day, that was like a big point of contention for all the edgy boys. Which is weird. Like, he keeps bringing that up now. And I don't know. I mean, it's good, I guess. I'll take the dub where
A ja nie wiem, czy nie zrobię krótkiego streamu dzisiaj jednak, bo Czuję się zmęczony. O, moment, to jest ten Fangor. Nie. Dobra, gdzie są ludzie? Czy tam jest skrzynka? A Swifty streamuje. Obejrzał jak mu idzie. Stay safe to jest debil. Nie ma. Szkoda. Okay. Fuck. Czemu Blink jest taki zjebany? Dobra, uciekłem. Nie, ja go nie zabiję, co ty? Tego też nie. Przebiegnę jakoś tędy? Tak. Czy on tajtuje to, co ja myślę? Nie. To może być głupie. Wytyfy! Sheep. Ja miałem manę na tyle. O, tu się respią. Fajnie. Dobra, wypadł. Okej.
start with the exclusive interview that took place in San Francisco between Elon Musk and our technology correspondent, James Clayton. Months to live unless drastic measures were taken.
Elon instant mute.
In rough numbers, revenue dropped from 4.5 billion to 3.
Wide people happy, I dream of a wide chat, wide divine.
Expenses went from 4.5 to 6, creating a $3 billion negative cash flow situation, and Twitter having $1 billion in the bank. That's 4 months to live. So unless drastic action was taken immediately, this company's going to die and be owned by the banks.
Let's talk about that drastic action, because almost immediately you sacked a lot of Twitter workers. And I spoke to them. It was very easy to speak to them when it happened. And the way they said, pretty much everyone said, is that it felt quite haphazard.
It was.
And it felt a little bit uncaring.
I wouldn't say uncaring. The issue is like the company's either going to go bankrupt or
uncaring.
If we do not cut costs immediately. This is not a caring, uncaring situation. It's like if the whole ship sinks, then nobody's got a job.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just lost their jobs like that.
Jack, can you ask Jack, what is wrong with the BBC as a news station that this guy is the one interviewing? What the fuck kind of answer is that to the question? Yes, the question, get an answer, then he just completely disregards the nature of the answer and just goes with another, he just goes back at it.
This is not a caring, uncaring situation. It's like if the whole ship sinks, then nobody's got a job.
What's wrong with this guy?
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just lost their jobs like that. They weren't. They didn't even know they'd lost their jobs often. They just were just frozen out.
Okay, so is it better then to just okay? So in this guy's mind, it's better then to keep the whole company on payroll, right, for 2 months, and then fire every single employee because now the ship sinks. So this guy says, well, instead of firing some people, let's keep everybody on payroll, and then everybody fired and nobody gets paid forever. I mean, at least.
Co leci w tle? YouTube. No ile oni będą gonili? What the fuck? Czy to jest bug, czy jak? For fuck's sake. To się zbagowało. I ten też biegnie. Wytyfy. Bo ja kombata nie mam, więc oni na mnie nie poszli. Dobra, ta zaraz zginie. Chryste. Dobra. To leci w tle.
At least it was kind. What about this ship?
What would you do?
Well, you might want to give someone some notice. I mean, you might. By the way, I'm not running Twitter, but, this is the criticism, and this is what staff members say. A little bit of notice, you know.
No, I understand. You have 4 months to live. 120 days. In 120 days, you're dead. So what do you want to do?
How much are you worth?
I don't know.
But I mean, we're talking about around the $200 billion mark. I mean, it's not quite. You're framing it
in my God.
In a way that you know, that it had a few months to live. You're quite a rich man.
I sold a lot of Tesla stock.
This guy needs to guys. I don't mean to be rude. Just get a new line of questioning.
Ale co ma to?
I don't know. This guy's a terrible interviewer.
Czyli, że ten... Czyli tak, Twitter jest długu, tak? Twitter ma dług w chuj i ma 4 miesiące, żeby nadrobić te straty. I ten koleś, co robi z nim wywiad, pyta się go, ile ty jesteś warty? Ale co ma gówno do wiatraka, że tak spytam. Naprawdę. On sprzedał też Teslę, żeby w ogóle... Sprzedał Teslę w ogóle tam parę tych procentów, czy tam udziałów, tak? Żeby kupić wtedy Twittera. Kupił Twittera i teraz musi sprawić, żeby ten Twitter w ogóle przeżył.
Is he going to push the argument that this guy, since he has a lot of money, he should get a new business venture and then personally inject his funds into his personal funds into the employees themselves and do charity or wealth distribution? Oh, fuck no.
To close this deal.
Ew!
I did not want to sell the Tesla stock.
In what was quite a lengthy interview, Elon Musk also said he is confident that the social media platform Twitter will become profitable again and advertisers will return. Let's have a listen to this.
In terms of advertising, obviously Twitter's not a private company anymore, so we don't really know how it's all going. Have all the advertisers come back?
Not all, but most.
And
you can see it for yourself on Twitter, even in the For You feed.
Right.
I mean, in the
in the following
feed.
feed.
Don't use For You because it sucks.
Right.
Filled with hate speech.
I like that he laughs hysterically as he gives people a For You page full of people that just fights, gun headshots, deaths, shootings, brutal beatings, bloody death. Like, brother.
Znaczy on już zaczął wprowadzać, nie?
A For You page
Moim
full of...
zdaniem to, że on nagle zrobił, że ten niebieski znaczek, że jest się zweryfikowanym, nie? Że to można kupić. To jest durne, że ja pierdolę. Bo w tym momencie każdy skamer, kurwa, który podszywa się pod właśnie Ilona Muska, może sobie kupić właśnie ten znaczek i kurwa. To jest taki ukłon w stronę tych wszystkich skamerów z Indii i innych, kurwa, oszustów. A macie. Bawcie się. Te znaczki tych wielkich osób mają być inne. Nie, oni to tak zmieniają, kurwa, nie wiadomo po chuj. Kto to chciał? Nikt tego, kurwa, nie chciał. Jak zrobić Twittera, kurczę, opłacalnym? No, a ciężko jest zaprojektować jakiś dobry sposób na osadzenie reklam? Gdzieś tam w małym rogu czy coś, albo na przykład zrobić ramkę Twittera, taką, która by miała, nie wiem, 2 mm szerokości i nie wiem, coś by tam było, jakiś kolor albo coś takiego i ta ramka byłaby po prostu do kupienia przez reklamodawców czy coś i już masz jakiś zysk, już coś leci, już kurwa, oni myśleć nie umieją. Albo zrobić na przykład, że firmy nie mogą używać loga Twittera w swoich reklamach, chyba że zapłacą tyle i tyle i tyle. Mogą sobie zrobić taki przepis, kurwa. Nie wiem.
Kills, wow, dude. He's like it.
That's not what I said.
Okay, fine. Well, why don't you use For You? What's wrong
You
with
don't
it?
get that?
How is it going? Is Twitter in profit now?
No, Twitter is rough. I'd say we're roughly break even at this point.
And I think you've said before you see a world where you could be in profit. Is there a timeline on that, do you think?
I mean, depending on how things go, if current trends continue, I think we could be profitable, or, I mean, I'd say, to be more precise, we could be cash flow positive this quarter if things keep going well.
This quarter, as soon as that?
Possibly, yeah.
Wow. And do you have a message for the advertisers? I mean, can you say which advertisers haven't come back?
I think almost all of them have either come back or said they're going to come back.
Well,
there are very few exceptions.
I'm confused. Why does it matter when that's just isn't it kind of a liability to call people out for not coming back as an advertiser if they're not ready? As like, oh guys, these just didn't come back. But I mean, it's just business. It seems kind of weird to ask them to say.
I actually don't know of anyone who said definitively they're not coming back. They're all sort of trending towards coming back.
But there are some that just haven't.
Jump in, the water's warm. It's great.
That's your message to the advertisers who haven't come back.
Why is he laughing?
Yeah, I mean, look.
This guy is just bad.
If Disney feels comfortable advertising, children's movies, and Apple feels comfortable advertising iPhones, those are good indicators that Twitter is a good place to advertise.
I want to talk about if you have any regrets. And I think you were booed at a Dave Chappelle concert. I think your own lawyer said a little. Well, some say a little, some say a bit more. I think your own lawyer said you couldn't get a fair trial in San Francisco because there are lots of people that don't necessarily like you here.
Yeah, but you know, I have to say I was wrong. He was wrong, I guess, because I was acquitted by the San Francisco jury unanimously. So, yeah.
But I guess.
But look,
do you have any regrets buying Twitter?
I think it was something that needed to be done.
I mean, you said
it's
earlier
quite
that you...
difficult, you know. I'd say that the pain level of Twitter has been extremely high. This hasn't been some sort of party, so it's been really quite a stressful situation, you know, for the last several months. Not an easy one. But apart from the pain, I mean, so it's been quite painful. But I think
I'm listening to this. Hold up, chill
at
out.
the end of the day,
It's interesting.
it should have been done. I think.
Stop. Prawie zginąłem. Bo prawie kuźwa zginąłem. Spierdalam. Ja spierdalam. Mana shield. Uciekam. Okej. Dobra.
Were there many mistakes made along the way? Of course, you know, but you know, all's well that ends well, and so I feel like we're headed to a good place. You know, we're roughly break even. I think we're trending towards being cash flow positive very soon, literally in a matter of.
I think Twitter sucks. Can I message that? I feel like Twitter was changing a lot of things fast and was trying new things, and now they kind of stopped. It seems like they stopped trying new things. Now it seems like I didn't even care that they were trying. At least they're trying new things. Some of it was bad, some of it was good, some of it was terrible, right? Just keep trying things. Why? They just stopped now.
Months. The advertisers are returning. I think the quality of recommended tweets has improved significantly, and we've taken a lot of feedback from people that have looked at the open source recommendation algorithm, and we've made a lot of improvements even since that was made open source, and we're going to keep doing that. So overall, I think the trend is very good. So
okay, that's it. Oh, this one. Oh, that's what people were talking about.
In the company. I mean, I would only just add that, you know, we have spoken to people who have been sacked that used to be in content moderation, and we've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech in the company. Is that
what
something
hate
that you
speech
want
are
to
you talking
address?
about? I mean, you use Twitter,
right?
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
but just a personal anecdote. Like, what do you? I don't.
Personally, for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally.
I don't.
But I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest.
Guys, you guys need to differentiate, okay? Hate speech and speech that you don't agree with. Those are two different things.
Redman Ore można tu zebrać. Ja pamiętam, że kiedyś tu zbierałem.
Sometimes some speech isn't hate speech. It's something that you don't personally agree with. Which you might think is it's still bad and hurtful, right? But then you're gonna realize that the basis of democracy and conversations is that without anybody saying something against your point, you'll never grow and you'll never get better ideas. Because you never have the best possible idea. It's by getting an opposing view, even if it's dog shit, that you have to rethink and ask new questions and get new answers, and that's how you grow. Dumbass. So something, oh, dude, I don't like this, that's hate speech. Don't be like that.
That's the Twitter.
You see more hate speech personally?
I would say I would see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean? Describe a hateful thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm trying to understand what you mean by hateful content. And I'm asking for specific examples.
Nah, that's literally stuff.
And you just said that if something is slightly sexist.
Guys, I'm not even a dick rider. Elon just isn't wrong about this. If somebody says he thinks women should stay as homemakers and stay at home and raise his children, right? And that's where he thinks his values are at, right? Yeah, you might think you have an opposing view, right? You might say, "Oh, dude, well, that's misogynistic, and that's hate speech or some shit." Well, even though I don't agree with that statement, I still don't think that that's hate speech, and it's an opposing view.
That's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
Well, you've asked me whether my feed,
That's it.
whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't use. Honestly, I
You
don't.
can't name a single example.
I'll tell you why.
O mój Boże, co się dzieje?
So I don't actually use that for you feed anymore because I just don't particularly like it.
But you
And
said
actually,
you-
a lot of people are quite similar. I only look at
hang on
my
a second.
This is a classic, guys. This is the typical small person argument type shit. This is like a, oh, did God? Oh yeah, I don't use it.
You said you've seen more hateful content.
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
can't
It
name
seems
a
kinda
single
odd. I don't
example,
know.
not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4
It's
weeks.
odd.
And I,
Well, then
I
how
think
did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen for you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying
Then I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
Moment. Bo ja nie wiem, czy tu nie ma mobów. Czy teraz nie zrespią, czy coś? We safe? We safe, I think. Okay. Easy.
That's a false.
No, what I
You
claimed,
just lied.
What I claimed was there are many organisations that say that that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my
Give me
feed
one
or
example.
not, I mean, right, and
Literally
you can
can't
look at
name
something
one.
like the strategic.
Fuck!
All you had to do, chat, to prove his point is get one tweet, one research data, one analysis, any statement of anybody. You could have done a 5-minute research and proven his point, quote unquote.
Institute in the UK.
Can't even get the
they will
argument now,
say
doesn't
that.
it?
So
Look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a
Right.
single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I already said, I don't use that feed. But
Well, then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting
You
anywhere.
literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
That's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you
for a
know there's
few
hateful
weeks.
content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on.
Wow. BBC dziennikarze po prostu są do dupy. Let's move on. O, w mordę. Zaatakuję? No, let's not move on. Bro. Okej. Teraz wolniej, dobra. Tylko się nie resetuj. Tylko się nie... Okej.
Not ready yet.
Ja pierniczę. Hi, I want to offer person to the channel, bla bla bla, the price, bla 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 bla. A wiesz co ja ci powiem? Delete. Nara. No. Sobie pozabijam jeszcze parę tych mobów, bo chcę sobie levelek chyba wbiję. Dobre explore.
We only have a certain amount of time.
Wow.
COVID misinformation. You
Amazing.
You've changed the COVID misinformation.
Has
rules.
BBC changed its COVID misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I'm literally asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. They used to be.
Jesus, this guy.
It then disappeared. Why do that?
Well, COVID is no longer an issue. Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations? And not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about the BBC.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy.
Jesus, this guy. I mean,
let's talk about something else.
Ja pierdolę! O kurwa.
All right, let's talk about something else.
You weren't expecting that.
Let's talk about something else.
Jeez, bro, listen, this guy got absolutely boiled. Chat, is this the best guy they got? Bro, they're gonna send anybody from the fucking BBC. They send this buster. I don't even get it.
This is just what I need to buzz.
I do not get it. Who is this buster?
Grubo. Dobra, YouTube, coś tam masz dla mnie się masz coś, nie wiem, masz, nie masz? Co to jest w ogóle za muzyka? EDM, zwykła EDM. Dobra, na chwilę sobie wyłączę te przeglądanie tego, tamtego, stratego i sobie popatrzę, co jest, czego nie ma na Twitchu. Kurde, chciałem zobaczyć, czy Hasanami do tego zareagował, ale chyba nie ma. O, zmęczony jestem po robocie dzisiaj. Masakra. Nie wiem, czy oglądać ten nowy odcinek Mandalorianina dzisiaj, czy nie. Czy zostawić sobie na kiedy indziej. Się zastanawiam. 26! O kurde, Honotu. To będzie dobry exp. Tylko trzeba go dobrze zatrzymać. Easy. Okay.
Koszula nie wydaje dźwięku kwik-kwik, gdyż ona jest w dziki, a dziki robią bardziej groźne, wydają dźwięki niż kwik-kwik, chrum raczej. Dobra, bigos z mandarynkami po choroszczańsku, to się przewija bardzo często, ja w ogóle nie wiem, o co chodzi. Znaczy trochę wiem, ale to, na to nie odpowiada.
93. Prawie mamy poziom. Prawie mamy poziom. Już ma 20. Aha, okej. Są trochę high levele i nie powinienem ich zabijać, ale ryzykujemy. Woolclaw, fuck yeah. Im więcej woolclotów, tym lepiej. Będę mógł sobie potem oddać się właśnie w Stormwind. W tym 650 expa, ale ej, zawsze. A potem silkloty i inne kloty można jeszcze oddać. I jest dobry exp za to. Tu tego sobie walnę. Woolclaw. 163. Evocation za 3 sekundy. Oj. Ty.
Dzisiaj na przykład jedliśmy z Andrzejem Trinidad Scorpion paprykę. Słuchajcie, no mało jest tak ostrych rzeczy, mało jest naprawdę tak ostrych rzeczy na świecie i żyjemy. Ale to przy okazji ma też smak. Tak jak, nie wiem, chipotle ma smak, habanero ma smak, no więc... Czy zagrał by pan w brydża z panem Corwinem Mikke? Corwin Mikke w zasadzie powinno się... Ja wiem, że jest reguła odmiany, ale herbu akurat się nie odmienia, czyli Mikke się powinno odmieniać, Mikkego, ale nie Corwina Mikkego, tylko Corwin Mikkego. Tak jak Wieniawa Długoszowski. Herbu, zawołania się nie odmienia. Czy bym zagrał w brydża? No, to jest genialny brydżysta. Akurat moim zdaniem jest, jeśli chodzi o jego umiejętności brydżowe, są one odwrotnie proporcjonalne do jego aktywności politycznej. We Francji podaje się nawet osadzonym, skazanym w więzieniach wino do posiłku, szklaneczkę, no bo nie ma posiłku bez wina. Zatem nikt, nawet najbogatsi i najbardziej wpływowi i najbardziej możni ludzie na świecie, nie wiem, Bill Gates, Elon Musk czy Daniel Obajtek prawdopodobnie nie piją na co dzień wina za parę tysięcy euro. No, pije się wino po prostu na co dzień. Co pan myśli o pizzy z ananasem? No mówiłem już wiele razy, no to nie jest pizza, no to jest placek z ananasem. Zresztą w Meksyku go wymyślili. Ja osobiście nie lubię. Jakie jest pana ulubione chorwackie miasto? No oczywiście te, gdzie blisko jest w zasięgu kubełek z KFC.
Dobra, nie będę mu zajebywał tego. No ale prawda, pizza z ananasem to jest placek z ananasem. Ja tego też nie lubię. Hawajska. Ble. Ryski. Troszeczkę za głęboko tu wbiłem. ...163 exp. To ile jeszcze? Jeszcze 1000. No to 10, niecałe 10 postaci, może 8 mobów. I mamy level. Jeszcze troszeczkę. Okay. Czy to jest, który to jest level? 28. A, farmi. Ale czy na tym poziomie farmisz to, co byś chciał? Jebany asasyn.
I can't do that yet.
To by trzeba było iść wtedy pod Frosta. Ja wiem, że to jest dobre, ale przy levelowaniu to jest ryski. Ja do tego właśnie wolę iść pod Fire, bo to jest ryski. To zawsze idzie łatwo zjebać. I potem wszystkie moby się na ciebie rzucają i jesteś dead. Koniec. GG. Łatwo idzie to zjebać. Ale mi się oddycha ciężko. Jeden malutki lag i cię nie ma. Prawie poziom mamy. Nice. Nie wiem, czy nie pójdę do Redrich, nie oddam questów, się nie wyloguję, bo nie wiem, zmęczony jestem, to zaraz może rano odpalę. Jak się wyśpię, to rano bym odpalił jeszcze streama. Przed pracą na godzinkę czy dwie bym pograł. A gram już ile? Gram już 1,5 godziny. To jest niewiele, wiem, ale ale jeszcze te 1,5–2 godziny zagrałbym przed pracą. O, jestem strasznie zmęczony. I zasypiam na krześle. I tego Mandalorianina chyba jednak obejrzę. Nie wiem, czy pizzę nie zrobić. Chyba zrobię pizzę. Ten mnie zajebie. Się jakoś odsunąć muszę. Dobra, prawie mamy poziom. What the fuck? Laga mamy. Okej, i jeszcze jeden mob? 1 do 2. 2 moby. Gdzieś tak, coś takiego. Jeszcze jeden mob. Jakikolwiek w sumie. Easy. Dobra, czy się tu nie lognę na chwilę? I pójdę, pizzę sobie przygotuję. Sekunda. Że jakby nikt mnie tu nie zgrifował, to się wyloguję na sekundę. Dwie godziny 39 minut na tym poziomie. Okej, coraz dłużej. Wróciłem. Dobra, dobiegnę sobie do Redridge tylko. Do Lakeshire. To mamy zrobione. To biegniemy. Żeby nas nikt nie zgrifował. Chyba że od razu iść na tych. Zobaczymy. Ech. Fajnie byłoby zrobić ten quest pod escort, ale... Nie widzę tego. Czuję, że dostanę w pierdol. Muszę nastawić zegarek na pizzę, bo zapomniałem. Start. Dobra. Okay.
What can I do for you?
Tego questa ja nie chcę. Shadow Magic. A to nie jest przypadkiem to, co ja myślę. Shadow Hide Pendants.
You need something? What can I do for you?
Easy. Edben Ore tam pozbiera Blackrock Champion. Yowler's Paw. Taril Zun. Ale to wszystko to ja zrobię, ale dopiero gdzieś tak... Nie wiem. Aha. A co z tymi elitami w Lochmodan? No właśnie. Jeszcze z jeden poziom myślę. 1 albo 2 poziomy i wtedy mogę na nie iść. I to myślę dobry jest wtedy moment. Ile to expa za to? 1350, 1750, 1800. No, takie sobie. Dobra. Pozbieramy te questy w takim razie. Shadow Magic. I się wyloguje chyba.
King's honor, friend. For the Alliance.
Ale tu ludzi, ja pierdzielę. Kat Ilzok, Fangor, What Comes Around, to jest Dungeon. Targot the Dread, ale to jest Stockades. A Stockades to 24-32. To nie. Ison Griefer, kurwa, zaś gdzieś jakiś Griefer jest. Okej, Belly Group.
Can I help you?
A ja Belly Groupa nie zabiję. Dobra. Tak jak mówię, wiele nie chciałem dzisiaj pograć. Wejdę sobie teraz na Hotsa, chyba questy sobie tam tylko zrobię takie szybko i tyle. Albo i nie zrobię, pierdolę, jebać to. Zmęczony jestem, noga mnie boli, wszystko mnie boli. Będę streamował jeszcze rano. Nara.